Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for choosing our show. Now, Raila's elder brother, Oburu Odinga, today I think put to rest the rumor, the politics around Raila's health. And if you followed what has happened when Raila went missing and Kenyans have been asking his whereabouts, you will realize that there are people who still can't accept the fact that Raila is mortal and that he's really, really human. If you have studied the politics of the Odinga family, the moment you hear Oburu Odinga speaks, then please take it to the bank that that is the position of the family. Before Raila Odinga shook hands with William Samoei Ruto, Oburu Odinga came with a very disturbing question. He came up with this question: Ruto should go. Go where? And after he goes, then what? And he made it very plainly with that fallacy that was going around, that we would rather have Ruto than Rigathi Gachagua. And we knew that Raila was headed to another handshake. You know, there have been some talks about is Raila going to contest? Is ODM going to produce a presidential candidate come 2027? But you will listen to Sifuna and listen to people like Wanga, but please listen more to Oburu Odinga and Ida. Then you'll definitely know the position of the family and Raila Odinga. Ida said, I'm the one who lives with Odinga, so whoever is saying anything contrary to what I'm saying is a liar. And Oburu Odinga today said it very, very well, and I like the fact that he was saying Raila is human just like any other person. And Oburu admitted that indeed Raila has been sick, but is now recuperating. I want us to discuss something around this, so have a look at this because I know you've seen it before. It's something I want us to discuss.
I want to tell you that Raila is up and about, and he only, just like any other human being, was indisposed a little, and he is now recuperating and resting, but he was not in those conditions which have been put in the prayer. I want to clarify that here, and I want to tell you that very soon you will see him back home. So that is something which I wanted to clarify. And I also want to tell you he is in India. People don't say they don't know he is where, he is in Dubai, he is in America, and where. He is in Uganda and Guadalajara. And he will be back to school. So our people should not be worried about that.
If you look at the countenance of Oburu Odinga, and if you've followed the politics around Odinga, you will realize that anything that is touching on Raila really touches at the heart of Oburu Odinga. And as a family, Oburu Odinga is the chairman of that family, as I think by virtue of the fact that he is the eldest son. When it comes to matters that revolve around the home, it is Oburu Odinga who will speak. Now, there is something that I've noticed, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know whether you help me notice it. We all know that life is in the hand of God. You never know about tomorrow. There's one thing that we are sure about, that we will one day go. The time and the manner in which God will take your life is something that remains unknown. But I want to say that Nyanza must be prepared to accept any outcome. They must be prepared to understand that Raila is not immortal. In fact, I think even at his age, we should thank God. Anyone who has got a parent who is 80 years, I don't know, I could be wrong, but that is grace enough to thank God. And by his old age, you realize that we are all human, and you know that when someone reaches that age, then even from the Bible, anaishi kwa bonus. What am I saying? Matters life are in the hands of God. But Raila is a public and a national figure. For about a decade or so, Raila has been controlling more than half of this country in terms of popularity. In 2007, those who follow him believe that he won by a landslide. In 2013, 2017, and 2022, there are those who believe that he won, he was rigged out, but others are saying that he didn't win, but he controls almost half of the country. That is why even 2022, how many votes? According to the IEBC results, they said Raila was Ruto leapfrogged him by about 200,000 votes. So he's been controlling that. And that is why the family must understand that as a public figure and as a man who controls, majority of votes, I don't know whether he controls it now, but he used to control, people must be worried and must discuss his health. Even though matters health is they are not really much compelled to tell us, but considering the faith that people have had in him politically is, Raila is a political father to many, and people discuss that. When you had a discussion with many supporters, it's very sad that some of them are saying that they cannot imagine that Raila is sick. They cannot imagine that Raila can be ill. Worse still, they're saying they can never imagine that Raila can leave us. And I think people must accept that Raila is human. Now, I understand that his father, Odinga, when he realized that he was facing his sunset days, he revealed it. He called the Luo politicians. And there is this famous quote. He told them, Tonge Oromo Jowi. I mean, Tonge Oromo Liech or something. It was simply saying that the animal, the elephant, is overwhelmed by the spears that are being thrown at it. In the lowland, when they used to, in the past, when there used to be forests around, people used to encounter wildlife, and a big animal like buffalo or an elephant, people used to come and engage, united against it, and they use spears to kill it. And you cannot kill an elephant or a buffalo with just one spear. So they used to throw almost 10 to 15 of them, piercing, and until it is overwhelmed. And that's when you realize that the animal will fall, because the pain from the spears, the mikuki, now overwhelms the animal. So some people tell me that when Odinga realized that his time was about, he called them and he was telling them, Tonge Oromo Liech. What am I saying? People must understand that Raila is human, and they must accept that a time will come when Nyanza will go for elections without Raila. Not because that maybe he will be dead or something. He will be out of active politics. Even far much, maybe more painful is that at one point we will not have Raila. Like I said, hata mimi naweza mtangulia. Mambo ya kifo na maisha ni Mungu anapanga. The reason why I emphasize on this point is, have you seen when people just decide that they've gotten some news and they start breaking windows and they vandalize everything? It is because they are not ready to accept. But I want to take you to the politics around Raila's health. I understand and I know that there are very many people who would wish that Raila is normal. They would celebrate, wengine watachinja hata mbuzi na nini wa celebrate. That is how sad it is. Someone once described Raila as a man who enjoys massive support and enmity in equal measures. Kuna wale watu ambao wanapenda Raila to an extent that they cannot imagine Raila is dead, Raila is sick, Raila is who. You know, to them, politics without Raila is not politics. And Raila knows how to maneuver. From the times of Moi to date, politics has revolved around Raila. And there are people who, from both ends, those who love him will speak about him to be elected. Those who don't want him would insult him so that their people elect. There are people who have just been elected by insulting Raila. Na kuna wale ambao they have been elected just by pretending to be defending him. So there are politicians who do not want Raila to die. But the news that Raila is sick is something that pleases them. They would wish and pray that, oh Mungu, Raila siende. But they want that news to come, that, you know, Raila is sick. And how is that benefiting them? That's what I want us to look at. They will play populist politics. Listen to Gladys Wanga.
Nataka kuambia Gachieta hivi. Gachieta. Usiguze baba wala usicheze na baba. When Raila Odinga was fighting for democratic space in this country, you are busy as a DO oppressing the people in wherever that you are.
Such kind of noise. When it is said that Raila is sick, people now compete on the who will be the loudest in making noise. And how is that beneficial to them? Number one, when you make such noise, so nani anasema Raila ni mgonjwa nini Raila left, Raila akisema tunaenda left, you know, akisema tunaenda right, you endear yourself to the people who love Raila. Just by shouting, you appear to be defending him. You know, people have really misused Raila in Nyanza. They use their name. They use his name. Wakishapita, hiyo yao wanangoja tu kumpiga kelele kidogo to maintain that leadership. So they want to endear themselves to the people, the supporters of Raila Odinga, by making noise. Who makes it the loudest? You know? Then you appear to be very sympathetic, you know, and people say, hey, you, the news that Raila was sick really touched Gladys. It really touched maybe Pio and I. So when you make noise, people see, hey, this guy loves Raila, and you endear yourself to them, and they will easily elect you. Number two, which is even you know, more funny, or the funniest one, is that you book a ticket. You know, this is the time to book a ticket, 2027 ticket. Unapiga kelele kabisa, you make a lot of noise. And then Ida is looking at you, and those who control ODM will look at you, and that is a direct ticket. I'm telling you. Wale ambao hawakupiga kelele when it was said that Raila is sick, trust me, some of them might not see the light of day. Hawatapewa ticket. So when, you know, such news that Raila is sick, na unaomba tu kidogo mtu aongee the way they were saying, oh Gachagua wewe, nini, you book a ticket, 2027 utapewa ticket by just making a lot of noise. Let me tell you, the late Gerald Otieno Kajwang once said that fidelity to the party will be paramount. And that is common even in all these parties. Yesterday, when Kalonzo was attending, was spearheading the NDC gathering, the Wiper, they call it the Wiper Front or something, in Uhuru Park, Kalonzo thanked his governors for standing steadfast and firm, not to be dissuaded and compromised by Ruto. And he also thanked the members of parliament for being loyal to him. William Ruto denied Alfred Keter a ticket just because he was becoming a fierce critic. You saw how William Ruto bought or compromised Buzeki and Gideon Moi. Loyalty and fidelity to the party is something that parties would want to see. Gachagua today gave a warning to people like Kihika and is wondering why these other is people cannot understand that William Ruto is busy uniting Rift Valley, yet using some of his very fellow countrymen, fellow tribesmen to divide that region. So loyalty and fidelity to the party is something that is paramount. And that is why those who make noise when Raila is sick and unasema wewe unasema Raila ni mgonjwa kwani umeona that noise earns you a ticket. That's why I'm telling you that politicians are very selfish. But let us not live in denial. I like what Oburu said. Raila is mortal. He is human like any other person. And God has given him years that some of us young people are not even sure whether we will reach that age. And that's why we need to be very, very careful as we handle the health issues. Of course, I don't support rumors, unasema nini, but as a national and a public figure, sometimes it is good to give information mapema. No guess wako Dubai, wako India, ameenda sijui US, sijui England, no. The family should always come up very fast and tell people, at least to manage the emotions. Otherwise, you leave room for rumors. That's what I saw with Chebukati. We used to hear a lot of rumors. We're gonna brain tumor. What is happening? A public figure must be managed well, and you manage the anger, the anticipation, and the anxiety of the people. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel Luo parliamentarians are very, very selfish, and some of them are misusing the name Raila. Unapiga tu kelele upate ticket. However, we need to see him because beyond the assurances, for us to believe some of us are doubting Thomases, we need to see Raila himself. William Samoei Ruto would not want Raila to go now. Why? Raila ndiye ameshikilia hiyo gurudumu. Some people believe that without Raila, William Ruto anaweza angushwa sahi before 2027. And if Raila is no more or he retires from politics by whichever means, then Luos will be everyone's for the taking. It will be an open ground. Most people say that sisi tuko na deni ya Kalonzo. You know, in the absence of Raila, hakuna mtu atakukujia na aanze kukula. Unajua Raila has got some kind of indirect or direct control and influence. Anasema mimi nataka tupigie Ruto. In the absence of Raila, I don't think there's anyone who can compel people subconsciously to vote for Ruto. It will be bad. And that's why even Ruto himself would not wish that Raila is dead today. Kuna wale ambao bila Raila wao wanapewangwa direct ticket. Bila Raila they are gone. Hawananga agenda in Nyanza. Unatukana Gachagua. In 2022 unatukana Ruto. Kama ilikuwa ile 2017 ama unatukana Uhuru Kenyatta. In 2007 unatukana Kibaki. And they thrive in that without any agenda. So some people really wish that Raila continues in politics even when the health does not allow it, because without Raila they are no more. And we should look at leaders and vote for them in terms of policies, not calling Raila and praising Raila. Praising Raila that does not build roads, does not give developments to our constituencies or our counties. I don't know what to think, but we really need to call off leaders who are coming in the name of another leader instead of telling us what they want to do.